As great trees begin from insignificant shoots, so the beginning of the Ranger Reserve program sprang from a rather humble seed. Larry Paul, former Parks District Supervisor, was park rangers who were staffing an EMA exhibit booth at the Orange County Fair in July of 1986.
An event at the Orange County Fair back in the summer of 1986 when we were trying to staff a particular special program there with normal ranger staff. And after one shift had concluded, I saw one of our rangers change his park ranger uniform for that of a deputy sheriff reserve person. And at that point I thought, this might be something that we ought to look into. We don't have the staff or the economics to continue to staff with regular staff people all these special events we wanted to undertake. So I went back and put some thoughts on paper, and we checked around with other volunteer organizations to see how they were formulated, and came up with the idea that we should have a Park Ranger Reserve program.
Many good ideas surface as a part of passing conversations in the workplace. No matter what type of business or organization, most of the ideas surface are discussed and are generally shelved due to more pressing current business. Larry chose not to shelve this one, but rather to take it back to the office and field it among other staff supervisors and administrative personnel. The idea of a Ranger Reserve program was favorably received over the next weeks, but many apprehensions and questions about implementation of such a program began to arise. The idea had caught the interest of supervising park ranger and training coordinator Tom Clems, and was eventually turned over to him for research and development.
Back in 1986, when Larry Paul, who was the manager of our division at that time, came to me and stated that there was a real opportunity to develop a Park Ranger Reserve unit for harbors, beaches, and parks, my first response was, "You've got to be kidding. Something like this would never work. We would never get people interested in the program." I was probably one of the best devil advocates of the program there was. But as he pointed out to me, the ultimate needs which we did have for establishing a volunteer entity of this type, we moved into the research of it, and that was pretty much my responsibility.
Various military and law enforcement groups were analyzed, along with docent programs and campground host concepts. It was generally agreed that what was desired was a program much more extensive in scope than anything previously employed. Through a series of questionnaires circulated throughout the county, it was found that many existing employees had an interest in participating in such a program. The questionnaires solicited both positive and negative comments from park management and staff. With strong management support, the program moved from concept to initial planning for implementation of the Reserve program.
In researching those, we found basically the core of the things that we needed to do to develop such an organization. And that core included developing a viable bylaws that would identify the administrative concerns of that unit, how it would provide leadership unto itself, and how it would interface with harbors, beaches, and parks in their mission statement.
Although rangers were excluded from participation, eligibility of the public as well as park maintenance staff and supervisors was approved. The program required park staff to be assigned to a facility other than their current work site, volunteering time in a separate work classification, Ranger Reserve, and still operate in compliance with the Federal Fair Labor Standards Act. A reserve board was established from administrative staff in order to prepare an initial draft of the unit bylaws. Many of the concerns regarding the use of volunteers performing the functions of paid staff were addressed in drafting the bylaws and establishing reserve objectives to assure that reserve functions would not overlap the functions of paid staff. The primary objective of the reserve unit was to expand and augment interpretive, recreational, and special event programs.
I'd like to welcome you all and call to order the November 19th meeting of the Park Ranger Reserve Program for the County of Orange. Are there any questions or comments for anybody before we start into our meeting agenda? None? Want to welcome Senior Park Ranger from Carbon Canyon Park, Jeff Buckspan, to our meeting today. He's our guest Senior Ranger. Thanks for coming, Jeff. Appreciate it.
I got a request for equestrians to participate in the parade. We'll have a float this year. We're going to be participating with the Goodwill Industries. I'm not sure who the
Hunt's Western Food is going to sponsor the float.
And we were asked to have reserve equestrian unit.
After the first draft was completed, feedback and suggestions were solicited from the Orange County Board of Supervisors, Harbors, Beaches, and Parks Commission, park administrators, and supervisory staff. Upon receiving and compiling this input, a second draft was completed and submitted to the board for approval. In May of 1987, the Orange County Board of Supervisors officially approved and recognized the establishment of the Orange County Park Ranger Reserve Program. A 40-hour training curriculum was established. It was to be completed over an 8-week period covering environmental management agency policies and procedures, park policies and procedures, emergency response procedures, communication skills, public relations, and interpretive training. Each category was concluded with a written or practical examination. Public service announcements and selective mailings were utilized to advertise the inception of this program.
Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to be a park ranger, to learn and share knowledge about our natural environment? Well, if you're at least 18 years of age, have a driver's license, and enjoy working in the great outdoors, we have an opportunity that may be of interest to you. The County of Orange, Harbors, Beaches, and Parks is looking for volunteers interested in becoming park ranger reserves. For more information, call 567-6206.
Over 300 applications were received. 50 applicants reached the initial interview, and 31 were selected to commence training as the first complement of Ranger Reserve. From initial screening of applications through interviews in early July, 26 applicants completed the training and participated in graduation ceremonies on October 6, 1987.
I think I'm as inspired as the rest of the audience here to hear about this program and to see the successes that the Park Reserve program has provided to the county. Greetings to the rest of you. It's a pleasure to have you turn out for this program and ceremony this evening. Some of the contributions that have been made over the past 3 years by the Park Reserve Rangers are the development of videotapes highlighting the Orange County Zoo at Irvine Regional Park, the paleontology resources at Ralph B. Clark Regional Park, and the Interpretive Center and its programs. Assistance in the Iglesia Park Native Plant Garden, the development of an oak tree slide program, and providing staffing at special events including the Heritage Hill Victorian Christmas and Candlelight Walk, the Craig Regional Park Winter Wonderland, the Mason Regional Park Arbor Day, and the Irvine Regional Park's 92nd anniversary celebration. The Park Ranger Reserves have significantly enhanced the public service that the Harbors, Beaches, and Parks Department can provide to the citizens. This very fine plaque has some words here which I'd like to read at this time. In appreciation to Robert and Avery Kahn for exceptional services provided as Orange County Park Ranger Reserves, October 1987 through October 1989. Orange County Harbors, Beaches, and Parks. And thank you again for your fine contribution.
Avery and I would really like to thank everybody. You young people that are sitting here that are reserves, take a look at Avery and I, because we were in your position 2 years ago and we were young too. Look at how old we are. There is a cost to the program, and that's age. Just kidding you. We enjoyed every bit of it, and we hope to continue on up in Running Springs. Yeah, I don't even know where I'm going. But we're hoping to continue on with the Ranger program up there. And I know you folks will really enjoy the program. It's great. We have. And thank you very much.